Okay, first off, I want to say that this talk is for mature audiences only. And I mean that if you're under 18, if you're even under 21, well, if you're under 18, click out of this. You are not allowed to listen to the rest of this conversation. A conversation. So I thought I'd watch some cool Christmas movies last night and have a drink. Red Marnier. It tastes so good, right? I wasn't depressed. I wasn't drinking out of like I'm bummed out or anything like that. But it tasted really good, and I was in a great mood. And I was like, watching my little Christmas movies and stuff. And then I was like, oh, that was really good. I think I'll go get some more. I'm home. It's not like I'm driving anywhere, And then I realized I think I'm drunk. I think I got myself drunk. Okay, so I'm like all stumbling around, and I realized that I saw something that came in the mail, and you guys know that I've become a master waiter, right? Well, as part of the waiting, I had an object I received in the mail yesterday, because this is, not working for me right now, because it just doesn't. It just, my wrist hurts, and I don't want to hurt it more. So I had something arrive in the mail yesterday, and that object was sitting on my dresser. And I was like, ooh, drunk. And I didn't even remember this when I woke up. I didn't even remember this. I woke up and was just in so much pain with such a headache and everything. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I went back to sleep for a few hours and woke up a few hours later. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait, did I do something last night? I think I did. And I was like, what happened? I don't remember. And then I was like, oh, I remember. I remember. It has like 20 settings or something crazy. And I was getting tired of it. And it wasn't working because I was like too drunk. And so I was like, this stupid thing won't shut off. And it would start going into all these different going into these different, all these different, you know what I'm talking about. It was, so I got frustrated with it because I couldn't turn it off, and so I just threw it across the room. And then I woke up the second time I woke up, I just was crying, laughing so hard. I was like, what did I do with that thing? Like, where did it go? So I went for a hunt. I went hunting around my room and where did I put that? Where did I find it? I finally found it. And it had rolled underneath the bed, and it was completely dead. So that thing was laying under me all night, vibrating. And that's just too funny. Just too funny. To make it even funnier, then I had to tell a friend about it, because I couldn't figure out how to charge it after that. I was like, I'm looking at it, it's waterproof. And so I was like, does it twist off? And then I was like, man, you'd have to be you got to have man hands to get the thing off. If this thing twists off, then man, that I'm gonna have to how do you walk up to a strange guy who's walking by somewhere and be like, could you please unscrew my thing so I can charge my battery on my thing? I was like, who am I gonna ask? Who am I gonna get to open this? Because it won't unscrew. So I told my friend, and I'm like, you need to help me figure this out. I don't know what to do. She's like, what do the instructions say? I'm like, it says to put it in a hole, but there's not a hole. It's like sealed over. So then I'm like, I don't, and then she's like, oh, that's weird. So I sent her a little video of what it looks like and stuff. And I was like, see, it's not a hole. It's like just a thing. And then I was like, okay, let me look at the reviews on Amazon and do a little, like, see if people are talking about it in the comments. Because, and then they show some instructions. And again, it just kind of looks like it's like forced into a thing that you're not supposed to put it in. It's really weird. So anyway, still have not charged it, but apparently it needs to be forced through something that doesn't quite look like a hole. It's like more like an indentation in the material. I'm trying not to use like certain words, obviously. I don't know why, because I'm saying everything else. It's like, what am I covering up? You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. It's like, I'm never drinking again either. That was terrible. All of it. The headache, the what I did when I was drunk, learn from me. Don't be getting drunk just because it tastes good. Use your brain. And I'm usually smarter than that. And I would usually have like drank a bunch of water like before bed too, to like just kind of, but I didn't. I don't know. I think it just snuck up on me, and all of a sudden I was just completely wasted and didn't even realize. Can you guys believe this? So anyway, yes. So keeping it real, just saying. Just keeping it real. So I was woken up this morning, prompted to make a video about, and it gets worse. No, I know that I've mentioned things about my love life. And some of you have been quite confused by it. Like, what the hell's going on? And do you have a twin flame or do you not? Or do you have soul flames? Or like, what's the deal? What's going on with you? Because there's, and I'll be talking about my masculine, I'll be not my twin flame, but the masculine and all this stuff. So I just wanted to clarify. And I was like, do I really have to do this talk? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, well, what? I don't see the good in it. Like, I don't see like how it could be, it could make some guys feel like a number, right? Because it's like, how could they not? If you're one of these guys, you're going to feel like a number because there's more than one. So I apologize now that there have been a number of you and not just the one so far. There will be the one, but I just wanted to share my story because it is so crazy. And I guess it's because also some of you are going through something similar. So maybe I can help you navigate through that with my own experience and how I've navigated my own experience. So let me begin with number one. I don't even know, like, I got to come up with some nicknames for some of these people. The first one, the one who started all of this, thank you very much. I know you're watching. This one, let's see, I'm trying to think of I'm going to go by the order of, I'm going to go by the order of like when I met them, like how I met them kind of thing. Okay. So when I first came to Boulder, I started working at this, God, I got to be so careful what I say. It was a hardware store. I worked at a hardware store, and there was this guy, and we worked together, and I'd go by him all the time. And I used to say, hey, you, whenever I would see him. And then I walked up to him one time. I was just like, my name's Amy. And he goes, oh, finally. And I was like, what? And then I would catch him watching me, and he would just be like, almost every time I would look up, he'd be watching me. And I was like, what? what is he doing? What is he doing? And he looked like he should be like on stage, like Backstreet Boys or something. The guy was super cute, and he just looked like a rock star. He was yeah. And then every time that we would talk, we would get all flustered, and we would turn red and get all about being around each other. And it was just it was the cutest thing ever. We worked together for a while, and there were other things that happened that were just absolutely precious moments. But we really liked each other a lot. And then he got a girlfriend somewhere in there. I don't know how that happened, but he got himself a girlfriend and couldn't tell me because I don't know. He was super shy, and I don't think he wanted to. In case they broke up, maybe I was an option at that point. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there, but so pretty much when I found out about the girlfriend, I was pretty gone after that. I didn't even want to work there anymore, and I was just like, God, we've had this back and forth thing for it probably went on for like over a year, and it never really went anywhere. I mean, there was a lot of flirting, a lot of cuteness, and some little random conversations here and there, but it really never became anything. Then I left that. I didn't leave, but I kind of left because of him. I kind of did, but it was about the same time as it just like worked out in like divine timing, perfect timing. A part of me really was thinking maybe he would follow me. Maybe he'll come to where I'm going to be working. Maybe he'll show up there. Maybe he would do something. But the most that happened after that was that he would just like, I would see his truck go by. I would see the truck go by where I would work at the new place. His truck would drive by. And I'm like, and I would text him, was that you? He was like, yep, that's me. I go for coffee every Saturday morning, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Or sometimes I'd pull up at a stoplight and he would be like riding back at me. And I saw his truck like everywhere. So maybe he was still spying on me. I don't know. And he still couldn't get up the courage to come talk to me. So he never did. Yeah, there's more to that story, but I don't want to embarrass him by telling any of those details. But and just in case you're watching this, Mister, you don't worry. I mean, Capricorns are like that. He's a Capricorn, so Capricorns are very shy when they really like somebody. They're very awkward when they like somebody. So I knew that. I did some studying because you drove me crazy, and I was like, "What the hell is happening right now?" I even like looked up articles on YouTube. I was like, how to date a shy guy, how to get a shy guy to talk to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then I called him like a year later. This is way too many details. I'm going to not be this detailed with these other ones, okay? But like a year later, I texted him. And it was quite magical. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, a year later, like last Thanksgiving, I sent him a text and just be like, how are you? And he still had me in his phone. He was like, hey. So we gabbed via text for like an hour. And then he's like, and I just started seeing someone. I was like, oh, okay, have a nice life. Are you kidding me? Again, does this man ever not have a girlfriend? Damn him. And he had moved to another state. So I still sent him like some cute little things, like to include him in my life. I would send him these cute little videos about things. And for a while he responded, and then he stopped responding. And so I was like, all right, okay. So this is all before I found out about twin flames or anything. So I don't know. So then the twin flame hit. And it was like in the middle of that. The twin flame thing happened in the middle of that. The twin flame came along, and the thing that stood out about that one was, so I guess you'd call the first one, I think the first one is like a soul flame, like the person who comes back from the past that ends up being an option later on kind of thing. And so the twin flame comes, came for a reading. I thought he was super cute, but really didn't think much of it because I mean, I see super cute guys all the time. So I was like, okay, whatever. That didn't really stand out, um, but he would, gosh, he would like come back every 6 months or so and come say hey and hang out with me for a couple of hours, and we would talk about like both of us had been enlightened before, so we were talking about our enlightenment experience, and it was really crazy. Like that, you just watch the video on that. There's a whole video on that story because it's amazing. It's really amazing. Because we had both become enlightened like twice. We'd both been enlightened before, and then we got enlightened like after we met too. And I mean real enlightenment. I'm not talking about like waking up to spirituality or like, and I mean, it was real enlightenment. Like we were one with God. So that was a really intense experience. And then he, ironically enough, like he was really religious, super religious, and was like, he didn't want to, I don't know, but I think he just didn't want to have anything to do with that because he felt like he was betraying God or something. And what's really funny about it is that I used to be like that. Of course, he's my twin. So, I mean, we get along really great. He's super cute. He's super sweet. He's a little angel. At least he is around me or with me, as you guys know. So I don't have anything bad to say about him, except that, you know, he didn't have a very open mind or a very open heart. So that just never went anywhere. And if you want to know more details about that, I have that other video about it. I think it's called something like My Twin Flame Journey or something like that. So when nothing happened with that, then I had a love at first sight experience. We'll call him Superman. Superman comes in, he just like he comes in for a reading. And we just couldn't stop smirking at each other like the whole time. And it was just like, I felt really compelled to touch him. I just wanted so bad to just like jump over my table at him and just attack him. And I was looking at his lips while he was talking. He was looking at mine. And he just couldn't wipe this grin off of his face, and neither could I. We were just like, it was like we were really fighting back, like attacking each other. Like there was this incredible chemistry, unbelievable chemistry. And he had the most beautiful eyes, and he was just like, I don't know. He was just amazing. He just was so cool and so mature and sophisticated. And he just like, when he walked out of there, I like got all giddy and went running into the back room. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You know? And I got all excited, and I thought for sure something was going to happen with that. I totally was like, that was amazing because it felt like I'd known him like from a past life or something, you know, because it was just so weird. And I know that he felt it too. I mean, I was like, okay, well, this is my person. Wow, that was like incredible, right? Some little exchanges happened after that, and nothing else. Superman went bye-bye. So then let's see who is next. After the love at first sight guy, that like I think I went a long time after that, just like screw everything. I don't even care anymore. Like I'm just happy being by myself, and I just don't even, you know, I don't even want to get my hopes up anymore. Then the universe like amped it up even more. I had I guess you could just say a really powerful spiritual friend who was incredibly intuitive. And I was telling her about my frustrations with this whole journey one night, and so I was showing her some pictures of these other three guys, right? And she's looking at them all. She goes, "No, that's not the one for you. That's not the one. None of these guys are the one for you." And I was like, "Of course." And so I was like, "Well, if I ever do show you a picture, do you think you'd know?" She goes, "Oh, I would know. I would know, right?" So I started getting these like synchronicities and things that were pointing me toward an actor. And I was just like, no, shut up, you guys. Like, no. And I was like, well, I think we'd get along really great. Like, I think we'd have like this really sweet, playful connection. But he was half my age. So I was like, and I'm not into like having fun like that anymore. Like, I was like, it's like, because I could hear some of you saying, well, it could be a good time. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm after anymore, though. I was like that years ago, but I was like, I really, really want this to be for the long haul. And, they go through their Saturn return when they're older. So I was like, I don't want to, I was just, I had all the doubts, just like you guys have. But I showed the picture to this girl who does not watch movies or have anything to do with any of that kind of stuff. And she just lit up. She goes, "That's the one. That's your man." She goes, "I saw him like popping in back of you in a video. Like you were making a video, and then this guy comes running in and kind of like squeezes onto you from behind and surprises the audience, right?" I'm like, "Whoa, wow, okay, this is wow, huh?" And then all of this stuff started happening, and I started like kind of looking into him, seeing what I could find out about him. And I started to realize we both have, maybe I shouldn't say this. Yeah, I guess. We both have scars, and we got them in similar ways. I was like, what are the chances of that? How bizarre is that, right? So then I found out that, there were a lot of things that when I started watching his response to things, he seemed really spiritual. And he seemed really mature, and seemed like playful like me. And there were all these things that I really liked about him. And then how do I explain this? Then I just started to see, I'm playing with a little thingy. Anyway. So then I guess from there, I was like, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see if he comes to see me or something, And I just kind of left it alone. I kept seeing synchronicities and things. I even went and did a reading at this lady's house one time. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I just saw this guy on the couch beside you while you were doing your reading." And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what's he look like?" And she described him to a T. And so I showed her the picture. She's like, "That's the one. That's the one. Oh my gosh, you guys are just going to be amazing and so in love, and he's going to rub your feet for you." And like, I see him doing all this sweet stuff. And I was just like, wow, okay. So that was interesting. Like out of the blue. I didn't even like, anyway. And because he's an actor and all that kind of stuff, I was just like, So I would ask like a couple of my friends to do readings on him to see if he knew about me. Was he watching me on YouTube here? Or was he like, was there something? And started looking into the cards, and I was just using his initials because I didn't want my friends to know anything. And I didn't, I was either thinking they were going to think I was crazy for even thinking it, or because he's like, everybody wants him, of course. I just didn't want to involve my friends, because I just didn't. I'm protective like that too, though. But they did all these readings and stuff on him. And they were like, "Yeah, no, he watches you. He definitely watches you, and he's got some feels going on." And I was like, okay, all right. So then nothing happened, and a while went by, and then there was like another actor that came up, that the universe was like, blink, 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 blink. And but he was married. So I don't fool around with that. It's like just, I mean, I might visit with the person and say hello or something like that, but it's like I wouldn't mess around with somebody who's you know who's married. So, but that one, oh, and with that prior one too, I just started to see some. I started to see some things about him that I was just like, I don't. Started to just really doubt it, and I did not doubt it like doubt that it could happen. Doubt it like I just felt like he kind of went to a negative place. So, and I don't want to. I mean, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And then the next one was also an actor, and he was married, and I was seeing that they were going to get a divorce, but it's like, well, until they're divorced, I don't really want to go there. But he is, I don't know if he's moving to Denver, but he's coming to Denver. So, and what's weird about the second guy, the second actor, is that I had dreams about him for years, for like 3 years, like repeated dreams, like it like a relationship evolved between us in my dreams. It was the weirdest thing ever. So I didn't even think anything of it back when that was happening. I just thought, I was just like, this is really crazy, this connection I have with this person. But I never thought I would meet him. I never thought that it would ever be anything. You know what I mean? I was just like, it's the coolest thing, like the coolest set of dreams I've ever had, you know? And so initially I was like, well, he could be like a soulmate or something like that. I definitely felt like he could be a soulmate or something special, obviously. But, when he started popping up on my radar and stuff, I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. And we did have some interactions. We had some interactions. But I haven't talked to him in a while now. And he's still married. So as far as I know, I don't even watch that stuff though. If the universe wants me to know something, it flashes on my screen and they let me know. So, and I also just, I don't feel really great about him either. There's just something about him that just feels, I don't know. You know how you know? You know. So then, and I'm not saying, I mean, I think that we could make really great friends if you're watching this. I think we could be really, really good friends. And I was getting to know these guys over cards. So, and there's more. So I would be doing these cards and I'd see how they would react to certain things. And I would see kind of like, I'd get to know them through the cards and just kind of feel out their personalities. I was talking to their higher selves in the 5D and stuff, kind of feeling them out too, like what their sense of humor was like and what they get upset about, stuff like that, So then I had those two, and then I was like, okay, so I better get acclimated to the idea of being with a celebrity, because I think, now that there's two on my radar, then I better get used. I was starting to get used to the idea of what that would be like, and certain things that come with that and all of that. And I started the celebrity series around that time, and I was talking to other feminines going through the same experience and all that kind of stuff too. And so then, all of that happened to support all of us that are in this same position. So then, I was like, well, gosh, as long as I'm going to be dating a celebrity, like, who would I really want to be with? Like, who would be like reaching for the ultimate dream of somebody that I feel like I would really, really get along with, that I think would just be like amazing for me. And I picked a person. I picked a person and I said, that's the one that I would want. That's the one I would want. I think, because I don't know him, obviously, but I think that it would be really, really awesome. So I did his cards. And to my surprise, it looked like he'd been watching me too. And I'm like, I have a lot more celebrities watching my channel than I realized. So I was like, wow, okay. And he it just seemed like such a kindred spirit connection. And I was very, very excited. And I was just like that when I was like, whoa, I would really like, this is big time. I mean, I'm not talking like big time, like ranking. I'm just saying like, I just feel like I would have to be like very mature to be with him. Very together. I would really have to have my shit together. And I do, you guys know that, but well, except for the beginning of this video. But I was like, something about him made me want to step up. Does that make sense? I wanted to be a better person because of him. I thought if I'm going to be with him, he's like the ultimate, I would really take that quite seriously. I really have a lot of respect, an unbelievable amount of respect for this man. And I was like, he is amazing. He is an absolutely amazing person. So then I started following his cards and seeing and then I was comparing the three of those guys. Let's just kind of checking out the situation, what they're like, and talking to them in the 5D and all this kind of stuff. Looking at cards, getting readings from my friends who, again, didn't know who they were, just knew the initials and stuff, and which they started figuring out in time. And they were like, who are these guys? Like, what's going on here? So then, what happened there? Then it seemed like, I'm just trying so hard to be careful about anything that I say here right now, because this is actually, I think this could be really something like, this is the one that once I started to develop feelings for him, and I started to see like massive signs and songs. And I mean, I just got like inundated. It was like, once I clicked into him, it was like fireworks went off. And I felt it was happening on his end too. But obviously I've never met him, so I don't know. It was like, and I would see certain things on social media or whatnot that gave me indications, I guess you could say. We've sent indications kind of back and forth to each other, that there's something there. So that's when I started calling him my divine masculine, because the others just kind of faded off into the distance, because I was like, there he is. And then it just started feeling very natural. Then it's like he's hanging out in my house in the 5D, he's we say goodnight to each other every night when we go to bed, and like he lets me know certain things, and it just feels like we're already together. It's like, why aren't we together? I don't know, but we're not, but we are. It's really, really weird. It feels really solid, even though it's not. Some of you get that, and some of you may not, but it's very interesting. And then, and in the meantime, I was seeing other signs and stuff too, like the universe is trying to point other people out, and I was just like, I don't want to know, I don't want to look, I don't care anymore. I'm just like so done with this whole thing. I just want to be in a good vibration, and just whoever arrives. Like, I will date someone who actually comes and asks me on a date. I will go, it's like, let's just let this happen naturally, whoever comes. So I've really surrendered to the whole thing, and it's like, as much as I feel like I'm with this other person, it's like, I'm not. The fact of the matter is I'm not with him. So, yeah. Can you guys even believe all this? Okay, so then the new guy pops in, right? And I really tried to ignore so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear about anymore. I really don't, because until they show up in my world, I don't want to know. But it's like the universe, like, but this one really likes you so much, and this one, and then this one. And I'm just like, I don't care if they like me. I don't care. They need to show up. They need to be in my face saying, hello, my name is... Let's go out. Let's get to know each other, You guys think you got it bad with this one guy who's ignoring you, You know, I got lots of options and nobody doing a damn thing. Anyway, so this next guy though, I kept trying to ignore him. I mean, and he's gorgeous and he watches me too. Hi. But you know, so I was trying to ignore him. I don't even follow him or anything. I purposely I try not to follow any of these guys or anything unless like I want to know their birth date, you know, because I want to know what they are. Like what's their astrological sign or like stuff like that. I don't whatever. This next guy, I was like, huh. Okay, so I know he's on the radar. I looked at his cards. I'm like, yep, he's watching me. Yep, he likes me. Okay. And then it was like everybody started mentioning him. He would come across my phone. He would be like this. And even in a consultation, hey, who do you think so-and-so's twin flame is? And I'm just like, no comment, no comment, no comment at all. Like, I just like poker face. And I can't believe they just said his name. So it's like the universe is trying to, and then then somebody else ended up saying, I had heard some kind of report that he's like difficult to work with. And that's like, if somebody's difficult to work with, they're going to be difficult to have a relationship with. But you never know if the stuff that you hear is true, and you're only hearing one side of the story. So there's always more. So I was like, okay. And then I ended up talking to somebody who's actually met him and says that he's a total sweetheart and that he's very spiritual. So I'm like, But still my heart is with this other person. So guess we'll see what's up ahead. It should be interesting. And is it going to be a normal person or is it going to be a celebrity? We don't know at this point in time. But I'm very surrendered. And yeah, then I find out that my masculine, with the one I'm calling my masculine now, I found out that he left the country. So I'm like, this sucks. This sucks. I finally figured it out. Or at least I think I did. But, you know, even I am navigating it just like you guys. And even I am, you know, looking at cards and feeling into my intuition and I really do ultimately want to be with the best possible person for me. And you know what? If somebody's not showing up, they know that they're not that man, at least not yet. Right? Some of them have to clean up situations. Some of them have legal battles or divorces they have to go through or whatever, you know, whatever they've got tying them up. So guess we'll see who actually shows up at whichever point. But it's a little aggravating, you know, to have had all of this and yet nothing at all. And in between there, you know, people that I've met and had really neat connections with, people I would date, you know, that are just like really cool guys, you know, that I would consider, still don't ask me out. And they're not the love at first sight or the twin flame or the soul flames, but they're, you know, really cool guys. So yeah. Oh, but I think I do really just believe in the law of attraction and that you will attract the perfect person for you at the right time and in the perfect way. So be surrendered, stay positive, and feel it out, you know, and I can help you if you're in the situation that I'm in. And if you want to know like which guys to look in, you know, how to look into the cards for each of those guys, or I can even teach you how to do your own spread so you can find stuff out too. And it is good to bounce it off of somebody else like I did, because, you know, you don't know if you're being biased or if you're just making stuff up in your head or whatever, and the cards will tell you what's really going on. So hope that helps somebody, or at least was entertaining and we will see what happens from here. The saga will continue, and I really do. Yeah, this is who I'm. It's fine. It's it's gonna. I am looking for the ultimate. I'm looking for the ultimate, and I won't settle for less. So I really do want to be with somebody I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. So I am holding out for that. Not that I have a choice, but I'm holding out for that. All right, so this should be one of the most entertaining videos I've made yet, just from the beginning, let alone all of this other drama. But I'm really just trying to stay in the moment and just enjoy my life as best I can, just have a really, really great time, and just look forward to, having that person show up someday. All right, you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.